Shalom, call Halim La Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem, Rakak Wadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and a sincere shalom to the 144,000 and one third. Now, I came across this brief little history lesson going over Gad in Alaska, which is a part of Babylon the Great, which will be destroyed in his third World War. And the history of Alaska is that Russia, the Edomites over there in the land of Russia, the chief prince had control over that territory, and it was sold to the U.S. All right, and of course, as we know, that this was Gad's land and Reuben, but they got conquered, and then the land is now in ownership of the Edomites, which is all prophecy, which led to the creation of Babylon the Great, all right, the daughter of Babylon. And during Gad's war against Esau, of course he lost, but a lot of people don't know that Gad was going against these Russians. You know, you just hear about what the British, right? The French, you know, up in Canada. You may see things like that. But nah, it was also these Russians too. Esau was going in over here in the Americas on the Lord's people. All right. So let's dive into this article. Sacred fort where indigenous Alaskans stood up to Russian invaders uncovered after 200 years. The indigenous Tlingit people, these are Gadites, had occupied the area for 11,000 years. That's BS. All right, Gad and Reuben and the other tribes came over here about 3,000, 2,000 some change years ago, according to the scriptures and in history. They weren't here that long, like 11,000 years, 60,000. No, man. After the northern kingdom's Assyrian captivity, they set sail here. So the Assyrians don't go back 11,000 years. But this is Esau's pseudoscience to hide the Israelites' identity. So this is the fort Gad used to hold off the Russians, the chief prince. You see, this is what Gad had built up. Conflicts began soon after Russian fur traders set up shop in the area in 1799. 3 years later, the Tlingit people destroyed the Russian settlement known as Old Sitka. Yeah, Sitka is the capital of Alaska. It's a super big island. Okay, island. The whole city is an island. Sitka, Alaska. All right. The Russians soon went back home defeated, only to return in 1804. So Gad put Bill to behind. All right. Determined to secure trade settlements in the area once and for all the Russians came back with 1,500 men in tow. Unfortunately for them, the Tlingit had purchased hundreds of guns and cannons from British and American traders during their absence. They had also built a fort now manned by 800 members. So Gad was doing business with these Edomites, all right, to get more advanced technology to fight off these Russians. And ultimately Gad lost. All right. Now let's get this right here. This is Genesis 30 and 11. Actually, Genesis 49 and 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. You see? So, in these times to come, Gad, which is so-called Native Americans, all right, and a lot of Gadites that look like Judah, Benjamin, and Levi were classified as so-called Negroes, but they're actually so-called indigenous Native Americans, whatever, which are the tribe of Gad. All right. Now let's go to Micah, the 5th chapter, in verse 8. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who, if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. So Gad is going to get their get back, man, on you Edomites for the wickedness you've done. And all the tribes are going to get they get back, because the Most High said what? Let's get that. This is Zechariah 2 and 8. For thus said Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. So this is how the Most High Yahweh is coming. Okay? He's coming for vengeance. Let's go to Jeremiah 30 and verse 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee. Yeah, we're going to get spiritual power. All right, we're going to be above a cannon, a missile, a nuke, a warship, a fighter jet, these AI and these robots. We're going to be stronger than all of that. And I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh. Yeah, we're not going to be able to sin anymore. All right. And then even before we get our new bodies, we're going to get turned up. The elect going to get turned up, saith Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Yeah, Jake we've been trodden down by these devils, by these heathen, our enemies. Let's go to Isaiah 14 and 1. I'm going to end it off right there. Isaiah 14 and 1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. So Gad, Reuben, Judah, Ephraim, we're all going to go back to what? Our homeland, which is Palestine, right? That whole area really is more than that, but that general area, all right, is the Lord's lot, pit, I should say. That's the Yahweh's pit that he put his people in. Okay, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and their strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave into the house of Jacob. So that's the Israelite foreigners coming back into place, right? They're gonna get the new all the elect gonna get new bodies, and the Israelites that were killed off are gonna come back with new bodies. Verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So the tables are going to turn, man. And with that, shalom.